A lot of you will already know I am a Disney adult. I am. And I have no shame in that. I go to the Disney parks at least once a year. I have Disney things. This is like the minimum of it. I have a lot more. I don't cry at the castle, maybe the fireworks. And I do just enjoy being in the Disney parks. I used to work there. I met my husband there. There's a lot of history to those parks for me. However, and I'm not trying to be one of those people who's like, I'm not like every Disney adult. I'm a cool Disney adult. I can understand why people have their thoughts about the way certain Disney adults behave. There's Disney adult and then there's being straight up like a little bit weird. For example, when I go into the parks, I know that, you know, it's a lot of people's first experience there. I'm gonna let those kids stand in front of me so they can see something better, which you should do anyway. I don't think I'm the priority when I was there. If it was my first time, good for you. You do what you need to do, you know? And factually, statistically, it's the childless millennials keeping that place open. So saying all that, I can understand, although I wouldn't do it, I can understand perhaps crying when you enter the park and feeling that wave of like, oh, I'm back here, perhaps singing along to the parade, and perhaps feeling a sense of freedom and no stress while you're in that particular place. That's the goal of Disney parks. They want to make you feel like a child again. Although nothing feels childlike about having severe IBS flare-ups and your favorite ride being the People Mover, which is a slow-moving monorail, basically. Also, however, some people annoy the fuck out of me. Just before we carry on with today's story, I want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of today's video, and that is Cure. You know I have been using Cure since, oh my gosh, it's been years and years and years. And I know so many of you have earned their trust through my recommendation as well. If you don't know Cure, if you're not familiar with Cure, let me tell you all about them. Cure is an at-home micro-needling system. Now you might be thinking, at-home micro-needling doesn't quite go together, but let me tell you, Cure have made this system so easy to use, extremely safe to use. And I know a lot of people are kind of skeptical when it comes to at-home treatments like this because of various reasons: safety, efficiency, the time it takes to do it, and because it's your skin, it's your face, rightly so. You should be looking after your skin in the best way. And also because there are so many over-the-top claims when it comes to skincare in general, beauty in general. But I'm going to show you today the instant results from this product. Of course, there are long-term results as well. But I am just going to do half my face stamping so I can show you the instant results the next day. And listen, I'm not going to recommend something to you that I wouldn't use on my own face, because this is my job. I need it to work. So how does this work? Cure uses tiny, tiny, tiny gold-plated needles to create micro channels in the skin that help the serum absorb properly instead of just sitting on the surface of the face. Now, this is more like a stamp. So you do a 50-50 stamp method, which means you stamp, then you cover half of where you just stamped with the next stamp. This makes sure that you get every part of the face that you can. And unlike those horrible, nasty rollers you can get on Amazon, the Cure version being a stamp means that it only allows so much of the needles into the skin, and it also goes into your skin straight forward. It's not going in at this angle and then lifting out at another. Please don't get those rollers. Please, please, please. It's very similar to a professional treatment, but you can do it at home in a little bit less time, and the downtime is minimal. You might be thinking, does it hurt? It's like if you press Velcro against the face very gently. And yes, there is redness, but that's absolutely fine. It's just a sign that the skin is responding and absorbing that serum. I'm actually using the anti-wrinkle version today, and this is my result the next day. You can see the side that I used it on has a bit more of a glow to it. Not that my skin looks completely dull on the other side, but the side where I've had that serum, that stamping, where that skincare has been able to get into the skin, I definitely have more of a natural morning glow there. And that's just the next day. Imagine down the road. Actually, I need to use a little bit more on my forehead. So Cure have an incredible offer they've given me to share with you. You can get up to 70% off a 6-month supply. So it is a really good time to try Cure if you have not already. I'll leave all the details down below in the description box for you. And thank you again to Cure for sponsoring today's video. This is definitely something you're going to want to check out. A situation went down over on TikTok mostly, and this video went viral. However, I just want you to watch this first to kind of get an idea of this guy. He is a dad. He looks like, you know, I don't know what I was going to say. He loves his family. He's trying to have a good time. Take a look at this. We've got a Disney dad. He's wearing a Disney shirt, having fun with the characters. You know what? And that's nice for the cast members too. As an ex-cast member, it's nice to have people interact with you and, you know, have a little whatever.
I have kisses for you over here. Oi, boy! You want sufficient chips? Come on, mate.
That's offensive. To me. So they're going around Epcot. He is obnoxiously shouting. Perhaps it's just an English thing to not be this loud and obnoxious in public. But no matter what you think, you know, whether you think it's fine, it is still a bit obnoxious. Would I be like, oh my god, this is terrible, get out of the parks? No, that's just how some people are. Some people are louder than others, right? That's fine. They look like a lovely family. Yes, the dad is a little bit loud, but aren't some dads embarrassing? But I do have to say, I feel like you have to be a certain kind of person to be that obnoxious in public. Again, maybe it's different in the US. Maybe that's quiet to them. But also, you don't have to be quiet going around the park. And it's also, see, I'm in two minds of this situation because it's nice to see somebody enjoying themselves who is older. And perhaps he doesn't get to be that loud in his everyday life, although I do have a feeling he might be. So that's not a video that went viral. This video went viral, and this is a pre-show to a ride, right? So you walk in, you queue up, probably for hours, unless you have the fast pass thing. You go into the pre-show, and then you go onto the ride. And on this ride in particular, you're watching like a mini movie before the whole thing, right? And there's a song that goes along with this mini movie before you get on the ride. Watch this.
Nothing can stop us now. I don't know how. We're gonna make it happen. Let's take a ride. Spend the day in the countryside. Good times are here to stay. To get away and have the perfect picnic. Let's sing a song and absolutely nothing can go wrong. Now we're gonna everything is going my way. Everything is just a peachy key.
So in the rest of that video, they just kind of repeat some stuff that is already done, but it was this first bit that made people go crazy. Listen, I'm gonna admit something to you. I'm a hater straight up. If that was me, I would be the people behind them giving them dirty looks, being like, what the fuck are you doing? Just because I feel like it's okay to sing along, and even the lady singing along, fine, perfect level. But he was doing this obnoxious, squeaky, terrible Mickey Mouse impression. That was just so loud. I'm sorry, but in my opinion, and of course everyone can disagree, it's honestly a little bit socially inept. Like you're kind of a little bit, you're not really considering the people around you. And there's a bit of an argument going on from the poster, right? That people are saying, oh, you've maybe ruined these people's first experience who have been waiting forever to see that movie, to hear that song, all this kind of stuff. And listen, when we were being trained up to work for Disney, they always encourage us to give our best because for some people, it's their one and only time visiting. And then they tell you how much money people spend on these vacations. They're like 10 grand for some people or more, even more. But the argument that the original poster had, I think it's the daughter, was like, these are all DVC members, which is Disney Vacation Club, which is a timeshare basically in Disney. So her argument is, this isn't everyone's first time, this is them 100th time, 20th time, 3rd or 4th time seeing this ride. They don't need to see it just without this man screaming. They've seen it already. And listen, for me, this isn't a question of, is this acceptable for him to do in that situation? This is a question of, is this acceptable to do no matter where you are? Would you be in a store and when a song comes on, you start screaming and singing the song really loudly? And be like, it's fine, everyone's heard this song before. You know what I mean? So to me, I'm with the people in the back. I would be, my initial reaction would be, what the hell I would give them that look. I would like, what the hell are you doing? I do it when people sneeze and they don't cover their mouth. You know, I'm like, why would you do that? So people can't control their face sometimes. And now if I have a grown man in front of me singing, fine. Obnoxiously making that squeaky, irritating as fuck impression of Mickey Mouse, would that piss me off? Sure. Would it piss me off the whole day? No, just in that moment. You are still ruining my experience. Even if I've experienced that ride 20, 30, 40, 50 times, it's still annoying. It still would piss me off. But I always like to go to the comments, to see. This person says, so I'm conflicted. We are huge Disney people that love to have fun. But your people kind of stole the moment for other people in the first video. Imagine saving all your money for years to go to Disney and stand in line for 2 hours and have this be your first experience on that ride. I can't say I wouldn't be really upset. We go so often that we know every song, picture, Easter egg, but also make sure we are respectful of those who experienced it for the first time. I'm with you. Same. And then here you see Tiffany, who is opposed to saying we are all DVC members, okay? This person says there's nothing wrong with singing along, but that's a little loud, and there are people who are experiencing it for the first time. Maybe take that into consideration. Again, DVC members. Everybody in the room is a DVC member, so not anyone's first time. This person says your fellow riders seem to disagree, and they pop a picture of a lady in the back, but he seems to have this obnoxious loudness wherever he goes. So I doubt that is our one-off example of that happening. And listen, I am such a Disney adult, but I actually have a song he's singing to on record because I was part of the fan club for a while. But I'm not there screaming, shouting to it. I'm a person who gets annoyed very easy, and if I saw this at Disney, it wouldn't bother me in the slightest. God forbid people have fun in a place designed to have fun. It is designed to have fun, but it's also designed to have fun for everyone. And also as well, there are millions of places designed to have fun. You don't shout, sing obnoxiously just as a human being. You know what I mean? I just find it so strange. But again, perhaps different countries, different cultures, that anybody of any age thinks it's acceptable to sing like that, particularly in front of people. Have a little sing, absolutely. Jump up and down, give a fuck, do whatever. But it's just that was grating. This person says they both need to mind their business, and they put a screenshot for people behind them. It is literally their business though. If you are in this far in front of me, whatever you are doing is now my business. Yeah. This person says it's supposed to be the happiest place on earth. This is exactly the way you should act. And the other person says exactly. And that's actually not factually correct. So they're in Disney World because they were in Epcot. The happiest place on earth is Disneyland. Disney World is the most magical place on earth. Come on now, get it right if you're gonna be a Disney adult about it. This person says, yes, I see peanut butter and jealous of your happiness. She was miserable, but it's okay. You really enjoyed yourselves. Can I just say something? If somebody doesn't like you, or they say something horrible about you, or they look at you funny, or for example, this lady's frowning at them, it doesn't mean someone's jealous of you. Some people just fucking hate you. It doesn't mean they're jealous of you. I don't assume anyone who hates me or frowns at me for having a good time is jealous of me. I just assume they don't like me. This person isn't jealous of you. They're in the same position you are. They're in Disney World, they're a DVC member. What you're doing is categorically, for a lot of people, not for everyone, annoying. It is annoying, I'm sorry, it is. Am I angry at them? No, have your fun, but I do find it strange when grown adults, even Disney adults, can't be socially aware and reasonable. Okay, let's watch this from Peter Petrella. He is like he reacts to very much Disney park situations because a lot goes down in there. I'm so surprised how many people get naked in the Disney parks, but he had this to say.
Was sent to me to react to, but I honestly don't think that I'm gonna say what you think I'm gonna say. So the video that you just saw was only like the first part of the video, and the rest of it is just like the dad doing normal, like just goofball dad things, like non-disruptive goofball dad things. Is this for
it is true. He is just acting very dad-like. You know, when dads get to a certain age and they try to be funny and impress their family, it's like you do need to relax just a little bit, because I mean, especially a Disney vacation, they're exhausting. There's only so much fake laughing you can do.
Part of the video that I showed you, annoying and disruptive. By the way, I don't speak for the brand or the company. Is it annoying and disruptive? For sure. Would that have ruined my day and my experience at the park? I can't say that it would.
No.
I think that it would be one of those situations where I look at whoever I'm with afterwards and I was like, what just happened? But as somebody that does make commentary on, you know, people doing disruptive or inappropriate or dangerous things in the park, I don't necessarily think that this is an extreme of any of those things. I simply think this is a case of the internet dogpiling onto this video for a 30-second pre-show. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I also enjoy this pre-show, but I don't think I enjoy it enough to tear apart a family. Like, especially coming from a lifetime of growing up in the early 2000s when social media was not a thing. And I know for a fact that like my dad or like my friends' dads, like it would do And not necessarily disruptive, but like stupid things to try to make the family laugh.
That's what,
and I
yeah,
think that
they
a lot
do.
of times in these cases, it's important to determine what is intentional and what is not intentional.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe that the dad went in.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. I think it's about to say it. They didn't go in thinking we're going to fuck everyone up, we're going to piss everyone off. They just happened to piss everyone off and be a little bit not self-aware, which is a trait people have. A lot of people aren't self-aware. Do I think this dad and family are malicious? Not at all. Not at all. I do think they might just need to be a little bit self-aware. Even if they were like self-aware, be like, yeah, that was annoying, but we're annoying people. Fine. Fine. But to be like, I don't understand, is a little bit, come on now, you do.
Into this with the intention to disrupt the piece. And I think if somebody would have said, hey, can you not do that? He would have been like, oh, sorry. And then the family would have laughed at him. Like, that's kind of how I envision this scenario to go out. And from what I was reading in the comments, this was during the DVC event. So I think they also were already under the assumption that everybody has been on the ride before. Again, that doesn't give you an excuse to be disruptive in general. So while it's not an excuse, it is a reason. And usually in the context of the dad being goofy the rest of the trip, I think it literally is just a scenario. That's a fun word. That's new. Just where, you know, the dad just likes to be stupid, you know? Now, if I saw in the comments that this family was like doubling down and being aggressive and snapping at people, then maybe this would be a different conversation. But I think in general, just not dogpiling onto people like this, because then in situations where people are doing things intentionally unsafe or disruptive, it's not taken as seriously. Anyhow, that's all I'm going to say about this. You're welcome to agree or disagree with me in the comments, but I hope you have a good day. And if you're looking at me going, you look really weird right now, I know I shaved, and you're just going to have to mind your business. All right, love you, bye.
Okay, yes, I agree. There's no ill intent in what this guy is doing. Is it annoying? Yes. And is there an extra factor of annoyance from a lot of people because they can't understand? A lot of Disney adults who find a lot of joy in Disney stuff, that's an added layer. I totally agree. In some situations, like sometimes I find myself baffled. But I don't think it was... Okay, here's my final thoughts on this. Would it piss me off? Absolutely. In that moment, I'll be like, what the fuck is wrong with this? But I'm a hater. I'm a hater for people, things like that. I'm a hater when it comes to social unawareness, right? I feel like everyone should be courteous of each other. That's just the way I like things, right? In an ideal world, we'll be courteous. If I could change that situation, yeah, they would have had a little sing-song, but to that pitch, to that I'll be a little bit like, okay, you're making me bleed from the ears and the eyes. You know what I mean? I know it's trying to be like funny dad, but there's going to be a point where people are going to be like, hey, you need to, you know, put the camera away. Let's stop performing for the camera. But you know what? Also do it now. The kids in the videos look young. Do it now while the kids aren't embarrassed. You know what I mean? Because it's going to get to a point where you're dragging them around Disney World when they're 13, 14, or 15 and 16, and they're embarrassed of their parents. Not all the time. You know how teenagers are. Annoying? Yes. Malicious? No. Some self-awareness? Yes, please. You have to let me know what you think down below in the comments. Let me ask you something else as well. If you pop a video of your dad or your husband, I don't actually know who he is, I'm so sorry, and people started talking shit about him, saying he's obnoxious, would you remove it? I would remove it. I would be like, I don't want people talking about my family like this. That would annoy me. Would you remove it? What do you think of this situation? Let me know down below in the comments. I assume if you're like on the side of a dad, then you are the kind of person who would also do that. Which then I want to ask you, nope, I'll leave it. Subscribe if you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you very, very soon. Bye.